Denver 7 On Demand is brought to you by Ferguson and BAC Appliance Center, the best in bath, kitchen, and lighting for your home.
I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Molly Hendrickson with the latest from Denver 7. Breaking overnight, 4 people were shot in Aurora.
This happened at a home on East Kansas Place, not too far from the busy Peoria and Mississippi intersection. Denver 7's Micah Smith shows us how police were busy working that crime scene.
For hours this morning, investigators processed this scene and focused on gathering evidence here on East Kansas Place. At last check, there were 4 victims of the shooting. 3 are in stable condition and 1 is in critical condition. Investigators were waiting to speak with those victims after they received medical treatment to try to find out what exactly led to this shooting. The shooting happened shortly after 1 a.m. There was a gathering happening outside here, but police say beyond that, there are still quite a few unknowns. With 4 people shot in this neighborhood, neighbors are worried about what this means for their safety. We asked the public information officer on scene if there is any threat to the public.
We don't have any information to indicate that there's any threat to the public at this time. This does appear to be an incident that was isolated to whatever was happening here this morning. But if that changes, we will make sure the community is aware.
Investigators say they plan on gathering video surveillance from homes nearby. They also are asking anyone with any information to give them a call. Reporting in Aurora, Micah Smith, Denver 7.
Thank you, Micah. Even as the opioid drug crisis worsens across the country, Colorado saw a slight decrease in the number of drug overdose deaths last year. Now, the number is still way too high, but numbers from the Department of Public Health and Environment show 974 people died of a drug overdose last year. That is 38 fewer than in 2017. Of those, 349 were linked to prescription painkillers, which is also a drop. And it may seem trivial, but this is the first decline in overdose deaths since 2012.
New numbers show the measles outbreak across the U.S. is growing. So far, Colorado has avoided the brunt of the troubles. The total number of cases this year has topped 1,000 with 41 new cases in the past week. This is by far the highest number of cases in at least a quarter of a century. Colorado is one of the 28 states with reported cases this year, but we've only had 1. The patient who lives in Denver caught the disease after traveling abroad. It is worth noting the CDC says the majority of those infected were not vaccinated.
Childhood obesity can lead to problems for the rest of a young person's life. But here in Denver, one hospital is trying to turn things around by getting families involved. Denver 7's Nicole Brady looks at some of the new numbers that are helping Denver Health zero in on the problem.
For as long as we've been talking about childhood obesity, it's discouraging to see the numbers are still going up. It may take more interventions like what we're seeing with a program here at Denver Health. Many of the young patients who are overweight or obese here have been enrolled in a program called MEND. It brings families and children together in a classroom over 12 weeks to learn about healthy eating and exercise.
So we learn about the sugars and the fats and what's healthy to eat, and we also do exercise.
We can make the same things, but with different ingredients that aren't as bad.
Denver Health found around 20% of their child patients are obese, which is on par with national data. At Denver Health, Nicole Brady, Denver 7.
A local woman is rebuilding her life after losing her apartment in a fire, but she's struggling to do that without a handicap-accessible vehicle.
Kristen Bering showed us how difficult it is for her to get in her van. She's a double amputee with end-stage kidney failure, but has to lift herself up into the van. Then she has to drag in her wheelchair.
So the past year has been really tough, too. After losing her home in that apartment fire in Westminster, she's had to live in a motel for 4 months. Then her daughter passed away suddenly. A month later, Kristen herself spent 9 days in the hospital. But through all of her challenges, she has chosen to stay positive.
I enjoy life, and I'm thankful every day to be woken up. And life is very precious. And I don't want to be negative. I have all kinds of things to be negative about, but I choose to be positive and just carry on and make people laugh and smile.
So there are a lot of people in our community like Kristen who are in need.
Some have been victimized by criminals, some cheated by scam artists, others just dealt a really bad hand. And our Contact 7 team has helped dozens of people by exposing wrongdoings and connecting those in need to those who want to help.
So now we're taking it to a new level. With the help of the Scripps Howard Foundation, Denver 7 has established a charitable tax-exempt fund. We're calling it Contact 7 Gives, and it's a safe way for you to help people in need by making a tax-deductible tax-deductible donation to that fund. 100% of the contributions will be used to help people in our local community. So think of it as a GoFundMe account that you can trust 100%.
So if you want to help Kristen, you can contribute to the fund, and we'll make sure all the money is used to help her. Just go to thedenverchannel.com, click on Contact 7, and then click on Contact 7 Gives. If you want to help in a different way, please email us at contact7@thedenverchannel.com. And we'd like to give a special thank you to the Larry H. Miller car dealership that helped get this fund going by donating $5,000 in seed money.
We have another nice day ahead. Here's Lisa.
It's beautiful. Blue skies this morning. We had a little cloud cover roll through earlier. That's now clearing out, and it's going to be a sunny start to the day. There will be an increase in clouds this afternoon. Very few isolated storms, though, expected, and likely just some gusty winds. Things are heating up, though, in the mountains, and you're likely going to start to see and continue to see more flash flood watches and warnings. You can see how a few rivers will also start to light up in green there. So we'll be watching this closely over the next few weeks as we see some rapid snow melt. Here in town, starting off in the 50s this morning, we'll get into the 70s, though, by 12 o'clock. Look at these winds coming in out of the north. We do have a weak cold front today, so it's going to usher in some slightly cooler than normal air. We're typically low to mid 80s this time of year. We'll be in the 70s, though, this afternoon, so still pretty nice. Right around 78 degrees for a high in Denver with a little increase in cloud cover. So a little breezy across northern Colorado. Early tomorrow morning, 50s and again 60s between about 7 and 9 o'clock, and then low to mid 70s tomorrow afternoon. So some pretty dry weather for the next few days. The bigger change is going to arrive on Thursday. But tonight we do have a Rockies game. Last night they won. First pitch tonight is at 6:40, and we're expecting temperatures in the mid 70s by that point. By the end of the game, we'll see some low 60s and again dry conditions for the game, so it looks really pretty for some baseball. Thursday is when we'll see more of a change. It does get warmer. We're going to be in the low to mid 80s both Thursday and Friday, but there will be a better chance for some afternoon storms. And at this point, the risk of severe weather does look pretty low here on our Super 7 day for at least Thursday. We'll keep an eye on those storms because we're going to see them, you guys, each and every afternoon through the weekend. So that could change up your weekend plans in the afternoon. We'll keep a close eye on those 70s, upper 70s, both Saturday and Sunday.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. Local communities near waterways are bracing for flooding as our historic snowpack begins to melt.
We sent Denver 7's Ivan Rodriguez to the town in Hinsdale County to get a first-hand look at the challenges residents there are facing.
Good morning. You can see I'm actually standing on some of that snowpack right now. Officials tell me if this was their only concern, it wouldn't be a huge issue. What does worry them is the amount of debris that was left behind from avalanches. Traffic flows through the heart of Lake City, but most of them are not tourists. Preparations are underway for the possibility of flooding. The city has already installed one berm along Henson Creek with the goal of keeping the water out of town. And another berm is being added today in front of historic homes. Officials say the debris from avalanches is their #1 concern.
And so what we've got is all the debris from these avalanches is going to come down, not all of it, but some of it is going to come down in the water, and that has the potential to create natural dams.
If a natural dam occurs, the city is worried the water will begin to flow over the sides and into town. Firefighters with the Department of Fire Prevention and Control arrived here yesterday. Their mission is to chop down these trees into smaller, more manageable sizes so that if they do fall into the creek, they won't get stuck. In Lake City, Ivan Rodriguez, Denver 7.
This weekend, you can eat, drink, and ski at Aspen's Food and Wine Festival.
Aspen Mountain Resort just announced it's opening a bonus weekend for skiing because why not? The snow has been so good up there, and the resort announced it in style, posting to Facebook someone savoring a champagne bottle with a ski.
Looks pretty fun. Lift tickets for next weekend cost $54 a day, which is a bargain. But we are talking spring conditions to the max. The base is only about 30 inches right now. And all the snow is not great for actual summer activities. Organizers of the 2019 Hard Rock Endurance Run had to cancel next month's 100-mile race. They say there's just too much snow and avalanche debris. Right now, 40 miles of the course is still inaccessible. This race is pretty crazy. It's over 100 miles of running over 13 mountain passes. The course takes the average racer more than 40 hours. Oof. We heard the frustration from so many of you when Hanging Lake changed to a reservation system, but better news this morning. It appears to be working. A new survey survey finds hikers who visited the site in May think the crowd size was about right. According to the Post-Independent, out of the 1,100 hikers surveyed, more than 95% say it was not overcrowded. They were surveyed in May, the first month the new shuttle system was implemented. It drops off about 615 people a day, but only 44 people every hour to space it out.
So we are 6 weeks away now from Broncos training camp opening at Dove Valley, and to get you prepared for the upcoming season, every Tuesday on Denver 7 News at 6 p.m. we present you Denver 7 Meet the Picks. Our Broncos insider Troy Rank takes you up close and in depth with the Broncos draft picks leading up to training camp, which starts July 28th. So tonight we start at the top, of course, with first-round pick Noah Fant. The tight end out of Iowa was taken by the Broncos, number 20 overall. He sat down with Troy and said he was hoping the Broncos would take him all along. Here's a preview.
They love using their tight ends, and now they have Joe Flacco here who loves throwing the ball to his tight ends, and it's going to be something that's very special. You know, being here with the coaches here, getting to meet them, getting to see how they run things here, I definitely feel like this is the best place for me.
And you can watch that entire interview with Noah Fant and all the other draft picks on the Denver 7 streaming apps for Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. Just search Denver 7 on your streaming device and download our app, and then search Meet the Picks. It's all there for you right now. And thank you for watching this Denver 7 Now update.
Check back here later today for another update and download the free Denver 7 app for breaking news and alerts. Have a great day.